I'm here with Rick Harvey, the founding member of the Kelly Levert Group. How you doing today?
Oh, good, good. One of the family members, me and Kelly Levert.
Being a founding member of the Kelly Levert Group, what originally inspired the vision behind the group, and how did your role shape its musical identity?
We started singing together at 10 and 11 years old when we was little, and starting to sing that young. Me and my brother Mike Harvey, Kelly Levert, and his brother Clifford Levert, and my two cousins Alton Carter and David Carter. We started at a young age, and then as the urban renewal came through our city, it kind of split us up because they started building different apartment buildings and projects where we lived at, and we all kind of moved away from each other, but stayed in touch. And being teenagers at that point, trying to get back together and start the group again, um, it was kind of hard because a lot of us wasn't driving at that point. Um, but I ended up graduating from high school, moved out to California, and experienced a lot of things. And I went around the world. When I got to California, I ended up going to 9 different countries, just singing and stuff. And then as I moved back home, me and Kelly Levert got back together, and we started Harvey and Levert. And a few years after that, I said, well, as his family got stronger and stronger and stronger, I said, this Harvey, my name don't really in the music business. Why don't we just go for Levert, Kelly Levert, take this Harvey off? And we did that, and it seemed like, man, it's been good ever since. It's coming together.
That's interesting. Your gospel collaboration with Kelly Levert achieved major success, especially in Southeast Asia. What do you think resonated so deeply with international audiences?
Well, I went to the Meetum music conference, and I think it was 98 other countries there. And so I didn't know it was going to be so many. It was a lot of Americans there too. It's like if you had a civic center, you got one road is America, the next road is Africa, the next road is Italy. That's how it was over there. And I met so many people over there. They wasn't even out yet, but when I heard their music, like Craig David, I knew he was going to be in America. I knew his music was coming to America after I heard him. I said, man, he's pretty good. And some of the younger kids from Disney, when I met them, I said, I'll see them when I get to America, when I get back to America. And yeah, the Meetum conference was big, and I ran into some guys from Korea, and you know, we did a deal. We did a deal with the Korean record companies over there, distributors. And so I didn't know I was going to end up going back to Southeast Asia later on, years later. I ended up going to the Philippines for 21 days um, tour over there. But yes, it's a lot different than America. They really, the Asian, uh, the Asians, they really love American music, and they love slow music. They love a lot of ballads,
Nice.
you know. And that was a good experience being over there for 21 days.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. How did blending gospel influences with Kelly Levert's style create a unique sound that still connects with people today?
Um, I guess we love the whinings a lot. The whinings was strong, and everybody loved the whinings. And so once we liked their style, and so we just kind of um, put that style together with his brother's style of R&B and gospel, and then started doing it. And it worked. It worked.
It most
It
definitely
worked
did.
well.
Looking back, what was the most memorable moment or that of that collaboration process for you personally?
And with Kelly Levert,
Yes.
But this growing up as little kids, watching his brother on Soul Train and going across the street, he would pull up in his Rolls Royce, Eddie, his Rolls Royce. I was like, man, I just seen him on Soul Train. How'd he get here so quick? So I would go back home and say, Mom, Eddie's over there. How he over there? And we just seen him on Soul Train. Oh, she said, boy, they taped that 2 weeks ago. I said, oh, I didn't know anything about at that age. I didn't know anything about pre-recording. But I think just seeing him being successful and us being just seeing him come on to visit and stuff, and that kind of got us like, man, we just seen him on Richard Pryor show. We just seen him on Soul Train. We seen him everywhere when Backstabbers came out. So I think for me and Kelly, that was a inspiration. His brother was the inspiration, and from us coming from Canton, Ohio at that time. Yeah.
Are there any lessons you carry from that era of your music career into your current work in music and media?
Yeah, just rehearse some more, and you got to rehearse. Sometimes you don't have enough time. I'm more like the manager in the one of the singers, so it seems like sometimes the business part of it is rough, and it's so much it's more administration work than anything. But yeah, more putting together administration work and you know doing some of the writing, production, and bringing things together is just stuff that's got to be done. You know,
How has your faith influenced your creative direction, both in music and in television?
just praying before anything, praying and um, putting God first at everything, and just let it go. Once you put Him first and pray about every single thing, you see the doors that start opening up. You see major doors. You get those calls like sometimes you don't be expecting. You get those calls that people that you listen to for years. Now you're on the phone with them, talking to them. Now they respecting you for what you're doing, and now you're working with them. Man, that's great when God opens up the doors. So you
Man,
just kind
that's
of
amazing.
leave it with the Lord. He opens up those doors, and that's kind of the fun part.
That's amazing. Was there a specific moment when you felt called to transition from purely music oriented work into broader Christian media programming?
It's all so far as we transition to not just Christian music. It's R&B, soul, but it's positive. And we keep all of our song positive, even when we're doing some of his brother's songs and family. Gerald Levert is his nephew, so Gerald was a great artist in his own right. After he died, his mother was presented a Grammy for him, and so just the family, just um, taking that from them, what we learned from them is uh, a great situation there. And just seeing them together, times that I seen them together, they was uh, laugh together and joke together. I love seeing them together when they would be together. Him and Gerald, Eddie and Kelly, all of them. It was just fun. At the times we went over to the house and award shows would be get ready to come on the next day, but we would know before that award show appeared on TV. We know who won. We know how many awards they was going to win because they would tell us before the broadcast comes on. So that was great.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. What role do you see gospel and faith-based art playing in today's entertainment culture?
But when I was in California, I went to a Bible study called Christian Entertainers for Christ, and Smokey Robinson used to go, and Rockwell Gordy, Big Gordy's son Rockwell, um, Elena Reed from 227. I used to sit right by her at Bible study. Um, one thing I heard one of the guys musicians say is that we're not stars. We should call ourselves servants. We're servants of God, and I like what he said. And I feel that we can reach more people in Christian entertainers for Christ, reaching more people um, for Christ because they listen to um, when you're a so-called star, establish your stars for Jesus is a star. We're just a vessel. We're not star. Jesus is the star. But you realize that he's the only star. We're just vessels being used and give him all the glory. We can do a lot. We can get a lot of people to come to the Lord that way.
What inspired you to launch the Rick Harvey Television Network? And why was June 15th the right debut day?
I think that day, that's somebody that's picked that day, whoever was my tech guy. But to start it, I mean, you shoot so many shows, and I used to fly back and forth to California shooting so many shows, and so many people had a hand in when it comes out. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this. You only got 3 minutes to raise funds for your foundation, and this and that. And I said, man, let me just take control of my own show and just at least do my own um, television network. I shot enough shows to do that, and so now you see it. You can go right to the Rick Harvey Television Network. Just control, more control, and my thing is I try to raise money for a foundation for the needy and the poor, and there's a lot I want to do for the needy and the poor in the ministry, and so that way I can talk as long as I want without with whatever I want to talk about and get the word out to the people that can help out.
Can you describe your vision for creating pay-per-view, family-friendly programming in a media landscape that often skews toward edgier content?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do in the Christian world is just to a lot of people don't know what's out there. You can go get a pay per view channel. You can it's out there for us to get a pay per view channel, and easy now when you're dealing with the media, social media now. It's a lot. We don't have to go to deal with so much Hollywood. Get a deal, get a distribution deal through Hollywood. We don't have to go get a television deal. You look at Country Wayne. He didn't have to be a comedian under
Right,
a major television network. He did it himself
for sure.
and making millions doing it. Um, it's the do it yourself era. Put God first, and if you're doing it for not just for yourself but for the people, and to change people's life, God will help you establish you. You don't need major corporations anymore. You're your own corporation.
Yeah, that's a great message. I love that. What challenges have you faced in building a network from the ground up, and how did you overcome them?
Well, one thing I always did as a teenager, I started um, visualizing. I found the book of my uncle George Carter one time, the dynamic imaging. Um, and I read that book. I said, man, this is talks about visualization and imagination. And when I read that book, I was like, man, that's powerful. And whatever my goal was, I would visualize all this stuff I'm doing now. I visualized the group. I visualized. I seen us doing this. I seen um, major TV networks calling us, and I visualized us, and I seen it, and put it into a frame, and just ran a movie through my mind and my spirit. The Bible said, "Without a vision, man will perish." So you got to see yourself even walking out that door. You're gonna stumble. You got to visualize what you want to do, whatever vision you got, and work towards it. And it's gonna come to pass. You work hard towards it.
Are there particular shows or projects currently airing on your network that you believe really capture its mission?
And there's so many on there now. So many different shows I had to shoot over a couple of years. Uh, I think I'm talking about imagination on one. I think I'm talking about my son. One is my son being healed. My son had a heart condition.
Mm.
That's the most and really important one. That at that time he was 22 years old and um, seemed like there was no hope. We prayed for him. And, he's having heart surgery. I think it was 6 hours. Um, the doctor came to us and said, "Well, he didn't make it. The heart was worse than we thought."
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I said, "No." I said, "No." I was getting ready to have a nervous breakdown or go into shock, and his mother's finna have a nervous breakdown. I said, "No, let's go pray." Mark 11:24 says, "Whatsoever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive, you shall have it." And we just begin to pray. We begin to confess, "Death, take your hands off my son. My son shall live and not die." 35 minutes later, the doctor said, "Hey, get back in here." His heart started beating on his own. I said, "Wow." So when I went in, I said, I seen all these wires in him. I said, "In Jesus' name, get up." He started getting up. And they said, stop praying for him. We don't want him up. Okay, the heart was cut out, taken out. They didn't want this moving. It was tender. I said, "Okay, when you guys gonna let him wake up?" They said it was Friday. They said Sunday. I said, "Okay, you guys said he was dead for 35 minutes. He had to see something." So that Sunday when he woke up, I said, "Rick, what did you see?" He said, "Dad." I said, "Looked like you were suffering so bad." He said, "No, that was a ventilator. I wasn't suffering to breathe. That was a ventilator." He said, "I was up on looking down on you guys, praying for me." And he said, "I was going towards the light and I seen these two demons try to grab me down, take me down, take me down." And I said, "Dad, I remember how you prayed." And he said, "In Jesus' name, let me go." He said, "Dad, that's when I seemed like I came back into my body. But I seen you guys praying for me. And my sister's gonna come in here with a hoodie, a black hoodie, blue jeans, and black gym shoes." And my daughter walked through there with a black hoodie, blue jeans, and black gym shoes, like he said. He said, "I never lost unconscious. I was always up, and it's a beautiful place. When you and God, you never have to worry about death because you really never die. It's just peace." I said, "Wow." And so 10 years later, he ended up having another attack on the heart. This time it was no hope. This was just last week. This
I'm
time it
sorry.
was no hope at all. And so that night before I was praying, it just seemed like I was in the pits of hell, just praying to God and staying on his word. I said, "Lord, you said in Mark 11:24, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive and you shall have it." And I was just calling up the scripture. "Satan, take your hands off my son. Death, take your hands off my son." And man, that next day he was out. It was supposed to be 8 hour surgery. He was out in 4 hours. And it was a success. It was a success. I said, "Man, we should be home tomorrow." I said, "Man, wow, that was just encouraged. I can believe God for anything."
Yeah, that's
After that
amazing.
one, I can believe God for anything.
That's
So,
amazing, man. Like, I love that testimony. Family-friendly content is often said to be needed but underserved. How do you hope your network will influence that space?
let's pray that God encourages people and encouraging other people to give their life to the Lord, hopefully. And that's my number one thing with my network is to get people good content, positive content. And, one of the shows I hadn't started shooting yet is Rick Harvey, New Hollywood, um, that all of us will be participating in, the Kelly Levert Group and all of us. And I want to just always put out encouraging and positive content, and that's movies and everything, television shows and movies.
What kind of international presence or outreach do you envision for your television network, especially given your earlier global success in music?
Um, I want to do more television, and we want to do the Kelly Levert documentary.
Okay.
That's something you may be interested in.
Yeah.
Doing the Kelly Levert documentary. Since you in Chicago, we right here in Ohio. That's one thing God had put on my heart about doing the documentary for the Kelly Levert. That's my next big project, Kelly Levert, um, the Kelly Levert Group movie documentary. Not just Kelly, his family, um, me, Ennis Rosell Jr. is in our group too. He sounds similar to Eddie Levert. He's a great singer in his own right. And then me, my sister is Alexis. Alexis Allen. She's a comedian. She has a church. She has a show on BET called Churches or something. Like a, they acting like they're in the church comedian. They're acting like they're in the black church, and so she plays a comedian on churches. And her name is Lexi, Lexi, and she's a gospel singer. One of the last labels she was on was Motown Gospel. So you look up Lexi Lexi. Uh, that's my younger sister.
Okay.
So sometimes I forget. I was like, I have a famous sister too. Like, man, he has a famous brother, but I have a famous sister. And so, yeah, let's check her out on her platform. I think she had 22 million or more
Wow.
followers. I think it's up to 40 million now. But Lexis, Lexi, uh, gospel singer and comedian.
Definitely. I'm gonna check her out. In today's streaming and social media era, how do you see pay-per-view fitting into the broader media consumption landscape?
I see it coming in pretty good. Uh, some people on the social media stuff have got a million, 2 million followers.
Right.
Like I said, they don't need these corporations anymore. So it's whatever we want to do. We work at it hard. We can become our own corporations. And BT at one time, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they had a social media awards at BT. I don't know what happened. They had 1 year, then they took it off. And but I see more artists there, social media artists there, but they need to bring that back, the social media awards back, because they're really becoming mainstream now. So I don't know if the corporations say, "I'll take them out." We don't want them to know they can go independent on their own without us. But I would like to see BET bring back the social media awards on their platform.
Most definitely. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of like, really innovative people on social media, people doing like really unique things. And it's really great. Like, you don't need like corporate permission. You could like, just really create your content and put it up and then people really enjoy it. They can check it out. As someone with experience in both the entertainment side and business side of media, what advice would you share with up and coming artists or entrepreneurs who want to align creativity with faith?
Yeah, some of the pastors that don't know how to get started, don't have the money to get their church going. Start your church in your living room.
Mm.
Go ahead and start your church right there in your living room. And I knew guys that started from their living room, and then they doing now they got a building because at least they got started. People start hearing about them. They getting help. Um, they got members. You can get started right there in your living room. Set it up, and whether it's every Sunday morning, start in your living room. Go ahead and get started. Start your hour of service and um, praise and worship and preach the word and go for it. Nothing can stop you. In these days, we live in an era of the Jetsons now. What we used to watch on that cartoon is now we got flying cars getting ready to come back in another few years. It's going to come out. We live in that era of the Jetsons. Robust. I went to a restaurant not too long ago, and the robot brought me my food and stuff. I'm like, man, what is this? It brought me, it brought me my food. I said, wow, look at the era we living in, where they got robots, and we not in Japan. Is more going on with the robots over there, but in America here, I said the robot is bringing me my food. That's something. I'm
That's
enjoying this and
yeah,
getting to see a part of this, and uh, I'm looking for more to come in this era.
Yeah, it's amazing, like the technological advancements. I'm impressed like every day. Like I think like, like what's they're gonna come up with next. They already got the driverless cars. Of all your accomplishments so far, from music to ministry to media, what makes you most proud?
Um, I think being able to put together with Kelly Levert, the Kelly Levert Group, and seeing it really do some things. Believe that God gave me the vision for the Kelly Levert Group with Kelly, and remembering we was growing up together, and now we're still together, and I believe that we have the right crew, and um, we'll be able to help other people from our hometown, Canton, Ohio. Some other singers, we got a guy named Mark Stale, family of singers that sung over in Europe. Sister was in a group called the Sugar Cakes, the Snell family, great singers from Canton, Ohio. We like to work with them and work with Mark and Tyrone Barboza, a great singer. He had that Philip Bailey tenor, just a great singer. And then along with our group, we will have them record with us. And and so we want to be able to help a lot of people, a lot of artists from around the world. Actually, you'd be surprised with the Southeast Asians. They sound, man, like black. It's a lot of them that sound black, man. They can sing just better as us, better than us, man. They can sound like any artist out here. They can mimic. They can really sing over there in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Japan, and stuff, and Korea. You know,
That's incredible. When you think about
east and west.
legacy, what do you hope people remember about Rick Harvey, not just as an artist, but as a leader?
That he tried to help people. He you can ask for help, and he will help you. A lot of people help me. Um, I have attorney friends that help me. I have friends that help me, and a lot of people that help me. And I want to be that one that help people and be a helping hand. Like the song say, "Lean on me." Now it's time for me to give. My legacy, I want to know that he was a giver. He helped people, especially the needy and the poor. So, and Kelly and Ennis Russell is the same way. They're helpers. They have good hearts. And that's one thing that I'm proud of in the group. We have got two guys in the group they have good hearts. They're not selfish. You know, as the Lord bless us, I can see them giving and helping, and you know, I know they have good hearts. I'm proud
That's
of that.
that's wonderful. Are there any dreams or future collaborations you're still hoping to bring to life?
Yeah, I don't know if we hope to do some things with the. We got some calls yesterday. I don't know if I should say until it's all done, but some big names, pretty big names I talked to yesterday. But um, get back with me on that one because
Okay.
it's gonna be nice. So
Most definitely. Rick Harvey, I really appreciate you for taking the time. I love the work that you've done, like, with the Kelly Levert Group. I'm gonna definitely be checking out Rick Harvey Television Network. And I appreciate you. And I'd love to have you back anytime.
okay, I appreciate it. I'll stay in touch with you and anybody that like the movie I was talking about and some of the television stuff that I was talking about. Sometimes we look for sponsors, sometimes we look for investors to work along with us because we'll be working with a lot of other major people. Like I know the one television producer, man, he gets to use Tyler Perry's studio.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so it's a lot of things that's going on, but sometimes we need sponsors and sometimes we need investors. Just give us a call at, if you don't mind, 234-215-4637. Or my email is Rick Harvey, VSP number 4 at gmail.com. And get a hold to us, singers, musicians that want to go on the road. Um, that would like to be on tour, give us a call. We can help that way.
Most definitely. Rick Harvey, man, I really appreciate you. You have a great day.
Okay, thank you. All right.